There is a danger in just seeking the next thing and the next thing, especially with online shopping now.
If not all of my friends at that time or most of my circle had that bag, would I now have been influenced to get it? You know? So it's like, if so many people didn't have iPhones, would we be influenced to get it? One of these pair of TNs I saved up, like, and I wanted them for ages. Then I finally got them. Then I felt good after the first couple of times of wearing them. Like, I felt proper good. But then after that, it just kind of wore off. Do you know
but
have
you noticed though, like,
let's say like with loads of my trainers,
you
bro.
really want something, like me, I like gadgets, innit? So, you know, I might get a little something, a little MacBook or whatever. But however, when you get that something, you only value it for a certain period. And it kind of fades away.
But that's what I mean, though. Like, you get that good feeling. Like, imagine like when you got your MacBook, bro, you literally felt like, like on top of the world.
So you're looking after it, you're cleaning it. So when you get your trainers, you put them back in the box.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Back for another episode. Back with your boy David, aka Dabs, aka DB Fitness. Come on.
Welcome back to PBS, where we chop up different topics, dissect it, analyze it through the lens of scripture. You got your boy Ignatius
Audacious,
you
telling me.
So so without further ado, we're gonna get it started. So today we're gonna talk about how modern consumerism, is affecting or impacting our society today.
Oh, big topic.
So
I think it's vital as well that we're talking about this right now, especially because of the cost of living crisis that's going on right now. But obviously we'll cover that anyway, innit? Like, I feel like before we get onto that, we need to, set a foundation first, so people know what we mean by consumerism.
What?
Do you know what I mean? So,
so obviously we just started there. So what is consumerism?
Okay, so to be honest with you, I was watching a video actually when I was doing a little research. And the reason why I want to share this definition, because I feel it's just easy to digest, very simple. So it was defining consumerism as the preoccupation of society with the acquisition of consumer goods. So let me just wheel it back, say that one again. The preoccupation of society with the acquisition of consumer goods.
So what does that mean? Do you get what I'm saying? It sounds all nice and fancy, but what does that actually mean?
But in simple ways, I just feel like in simple words, in my opinion, or from my understanding, I simply think that means, just essentially just spending money. So the society are so busy with spending money.
So like overconsumption of goods and services.
Essentially.
Just to attain for happiness. Really, do you get what I'm saying?
Whoa, you went there straight away, bro. To attain for happiness.
So let's just talk about especially now with the society that we're living in, with the advertising. You got marketing. You got the celebrity culture. You got social media. Do you get what I'm saying? All of these are influences or influencing factors.
Not even only that, but the ease of access as well. Like
the ease of access,
how
one
easy
click,
it is, bro. You don't have to. It's not back in the 1900s where you have to now go physically and buy things. Like you say, with a click of a button, you can just.
Think about Jeff Bezos, like with Amazon. Like, what's the last thing? Like, how many things do we buy from like Amazon for next day delivery? It's the ease of use.
It's true. I even remember as well, because I remember we were looking at stocks around, so we were like looking at investing and stuff around lockdown time. And then you saw Amazon, their stock it actually went through the roof because people were just like buying so many things because they were stuck at home and stuff like that. So they just kept on buying from Amazon. So man.
So I mean,
would you say you fall? Sorry to interrupt you. Would you say you fall under like? Would you say you're a victim of consumerism?
What I would say, to be honest, like, to a certain degree, you know what I'm saying? To a certain degree, because it's like, you want to have something, just feel, let's say, for example, when I bought my car, my 1 Series, I wanted to attain that because
say it louder. What car did you buy, bro?
the 1 Series. But yeah, the reason why I wanted to get that, I was like, you know what, it'll make me feel good in a way. Do you get what I'm saying? So I was like, in a way, that's consumption. Do you get what I'm saying?
But was it only that?
Yeah.
Was it only because you wanted to feel good? Or was there any other sort of factors? Now just thinking about it, that might have influenced it.
Subconsciously, of course, I would have seen, like, obviously my older cousin or people around me acquiring that. I thought it's sort of like a status.
Yeah, symbol of status.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Really.
Yeah.
So you really have this innate desire to want to have something because of, you've seen it, or, you know what I'm saying, you've seen it growing up, or, and then that's the reason why I wanted to get it.
Yeah, I was like, let's be real, innit? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Coupled with my own kind of desire as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
So,
I get you.
what about you, though? What would you say you have kind of your experience with, purchasing and really consumerism, really?
I feel like we all have felt victim to this before. But yeah, I would say I definitely 100% have as well, man.
Yeah.
I feel like even for example, just like with iPhones, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, how many people do you know that have got iPhones, right?
Yeah.
And I saw this stat. Well, now I was looking into it. And bro, do you know how many iPhones have come out and that since 2007 when the first one came out?
How many?
Bro, it's like around 40 different iPhones,
40 different iPhones.
And when you think about it, like, people literally always want to now upgrade. Every single year, bro. Their contract hasn't even finished and they want to upgrade. But I remember, I had the iPhone 8 Plus. That I bought it in 2017 when it just came out and that. And I was like, right, cool, this is going to be the last phone I'm going to get. I'm not even going to upgrade. So then when the upgrade finished, bro, I got a SIM only in that. A SIM only contract. I was like, nah, they're not getting me again, bro. Because I realised it. Like, bro, the phone would cost let's say then it would have maybe cost $450 or something like that, roughly. But then by the time you've actually finished off paying off the contract, you've paid 9 bills. You've paid £900. So then I thought, this is a scam. Let me just keep the phone and do pay only. Do you know what I mean? SIM only, yeah. So obviously I was doing that for time, and even this phone now I've got iPhone 11. But I literally got this from my missus, to be honest. And she sold it to me, sold me the phone, got it for a bills. And then now I just use the same SIM only plan. So do you know what I mean? I feel for me it was I've just started to now realise certain things because I was thinking when I kept on getting an iPhone, I was like, okay, really and truly, you see this iPhone that I'm getting, bro, really and truly, you only get a few different features that are different every year, but really and truly, the basis of the phone is the same. Then I started to, do you know about how they're made and stuff? Have you heard about the fact that apparently iPhones are only made for very cheap in a sweatshop in China for
it's
very low price, you get what I mean? And they just slap the label on it.
In terms of the labour consumption, that's the negative effects of this, of consuming. Because
before you get there though, I was just gonna say obviously, and that's the reason why I decided to step away from that in terms of iPhones, because I thought, one, it's getting produced for so cheap, and it's I don't want to spend so much money on this thing. But carry on, and obviously you saying that.
Yeah, so I mean,
negative effects.
I mean, and I think before we even get to the negative effects, I think it's really important to really drill down and to really look at the roots of desire.
The roots of consumerism. Where's it actually coming from? Why is it that it's got so many people in the chokehold and stuff?
So I was just doing some research. I mean, have you heard of the idea of hedonist?
Hedonist.
Yeah, hedonist. That's it. Yeah. So the idea of seeking pleasure. Seeking pleasure.
Is that what hedonist is?
Yeah, hedonist is basically the idea of seeking pleasure, living for pleasure. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So essentially, what that means is, people have this innate desire to want to just please themselves. So, purchasing all of these things is to fulfill that pleasure. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's there's this, this basic, this desire to want to get the next thing because you feel that's gonna basically fulfill your desire, innate desire, innit? So, I mean, what do you think about that anyway?
Ooh. Yeah, I think it kind of links into remember we was talking about dopamine as well. It's essentially just like kind of like buying something to get like a dopamine hit. Essentially, because I'm just thinking about the things that I've like maybe sort of bought that I've wanted like for a long time. Like I'm just thinking about you know, me like. I feel like everyone has something different that I feel like they might have been in a chokehold with or they really like. But for me, it's trainers, and I love my trainers. So I was like, I remember like one of these pair of TNs I saved up like, and I wanted them for ages. Then I finally got them. Then I felt good after the first couple of times of wearing them. Like I felt proper good. But then after that, it just kind of wore off. Do you know
but have you noticed though, like?
Let's say like with loads of my trainers.
You really want something, Like me, I like gadgets in it, so you know I might get a little something, a little MacBook or whatever. But however, when you get that something, you only value it for a certain period, and it kind of fades away.
But that's what I mean, though. Like you get that good feeling. Like imagine like when you got your MacBook, bro, you literally felt like like on top of the world.
So you're looking after it, you're cleaning it. So when you get your trainers, you put them back in the box.
Just
you put them back in the box. You look but after a while, like when I got my car, I was cleaning it, nice. But after a while, it's like the value you have for that is kind of fades away because it's extrinsic. It's not intrinsic value. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
but I feel like in that sense, then I feel like we are kind of maybe all like kind of hedonistic or what I don't know, but what in terms of what you were saying, I feel like we all have a hint of it. Do you know what I mean, man? Because it's like sometimes we like to look good, bro. Like me as well, bro. I don't want to just. I like to look good. Like I like to look swaggy and invest in my clothing and stuff. But then,
but
there's a balance.
But there's a balance. But however, there is a danger in just seeking the next thing and the next thing. Especially with online shopping now, you get the gratification when you buy. You get the same, the dopamine kind of effect. Of satisfaction when you buy it online and when it gets delivered. So it's kind of biologically, it's kind of, just
it's reinforcing.
Reinforcing
their spending habit.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Do you feel like then these companies, as in like these big sort of like retail companies, or like it's part of their marketing strategy?
100%. It's actually called I think what's it? Neuromarketing. So they actually target the parasympathetic nervous system by the way they're advertising. And have you seen a watch when a watch is have you clocked when you're trying to no pun intended when you're trying to, like, for example, buy a watch, it's always on like a 10 to 10. Do you know why? Because it's like it represent like a smiley face, and that's kind of a neural.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
If you notice, check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah, most watches are advertised they're like 10 past 10. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of represents that.
Mad,
that's a little thing that they use to target your neural your nervous system, how you react and how you kind of get dopamine. So
that's quite scary.
Major companies are kind of using neuroscientists to actually target marketing. So it's actually deeper than just the surface level. Like, because when you just walk, like how many adverts, if we had the stats, like the amount of adverts that we see on every day is thousands. Do you know what I'm saying? When you're on your phone, when you're billboards, social media, everywhere. Celebrity culture, you see this everywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's really trying to get you to buy something you don't even know you wanted in the first place. Do you know what I'm saying? So trying to keep you on a hamster wheel. Trying to keep you on a hamster wheel.
Now that's quite. I'm just trying to take in what you was talking about with the watches, because I didn't actually even know that. But it makes sense, like how these big companies sort of like they're very strategic in their marketing.
That's a little one thing when I was researching. I was like, wow, I never knew. Then I searched up a few watches, and it's like, what? It's the same.
But you think if watches do that, what do like trainers now probably do to like advertise themselves or clothing or cars? Or
what these some of these companies, what they want to know you better than you know yourself. Trying to create desires, and that came over generations of, how it is kind of adapted through the generations. Because people had everything they wanted really in terms of their needs. However, like a new with advertising, there's something that advertises that you never knew you wanted until you see it.
I think it's a lot with social media though as well, man. Do you know what I mean? But then I'll say social media, but then I'd also say that it is a lot to do with like maybe your circle or your environment as well. Because like not even
what you're exposed to.
Yeah, bro. Like I remember high school. I'm not sure if you were the same, bro. But there was this craze that was going around with like Just Do It bags, for example.
Do it, or kickers.
Or kickers and that. Yeah, and it's like, bro, for me personally, but I used to get onto my mum like, please get me a Just Do It bag, begging her and that.
Yeah.
Like, but then it's like,
did you know why? Did you know why? Though?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like for me, it's genuinely because like 90% of the people around me had Just Do It bags. Like the people that you feel like they're cool. Do you know what I mean? They had a Just Do It bag. And to be honest with you, it was a decent bag, but it was nothing special. But it's like for me, I was influenced. I had a grey one. I had a grey and white one. I was like, when I was wearing it, I felt good.
You felt good?
I feel good, but I feel like
for a while.
Yeah, but then if not all of my friends at that time or most of my circle had that bag, would I now have been influenced to get it? You know, so it's like if so many people didn't have iPhones, would you be influenced to get it? So I feel like that could also have an impact in terms of like, you know, seeing the people around you have something. Because I don't know, I think it goes back to that sort of, I don't know, that innate maybe desire where it's like you want something that someone else has. Do you know what I mean? Or if like a lot of people have something. You're kind of thinking, oh, what is it about this one thing that everyone has? Do you know what I mean? So you're thinking, all right, I want to get this as well. So I think it kind of feeds into that as well. Do you know what I mean? So if you're not like sort of strong within yourself or strong-minded, you can just go with the tide. But there's a trend, like what, a trend might start tomorrow, for example, or I don't know, boot cuts, for example, might start coming back in. Do you know what I mean?
Doubt it, though.
Nah, they need to stay there. But that's what I'm saying. But then some people might jump on the bandwagon and then that might become a thing again.
Do you
know what I mean? But
and because of that, you know, these,
mad.
you know, and that comes from, have you heard of, I'm sure you have, Abraham's, what's his name? Abraham Maslow's
hierarchy of needs.
Hierarchy of needs.
Yeah, can't speak on that.
You know, like, you only desire a certain thing when you reach. So basically, the hierarchy of needs is basically is explained as you got your physiological needs, which is obviously food, water, shelter, and then you got your basic needs, and then you got I think there's another level, and then you got self-esteem. So you're not gonna want to desire, let's say for example, a luxurious car when you haven't got your shelter or food. You know what I'm saying? You have to look after those needs first before you start looking. You know, like a homeless person, they wouldn't want to desire for a watch if they haven't got food, for example. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's the premise of that kind of model. Do you get what I'm saying? So, you know, with saying that, it's kind of like an innate desire. You know, when Adam and Eve, like, we were created to be connected with God. Do you know what I'm saying? So to be, you know, to be one with God. So when Adam and Eve sinned, you know, there was a separation. So that's when these desires started, like
sin was birthed.
So sin was birthed to every man. That's the reason why we need to be born again and our spirit be alive to God, essentially, because everyone's born from that. Has this innate desire of to seek pleasure and to seek their own desires. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and that's why the Bible talks about, you know, I think it's in when it talks about, you know, love not the world. Do you know what I'm saying? Love not the world, because lust of the eyes, which is basically in this. We're in a society
that's
where...
That's what consumerism links in with.
100%. Lust of the eyes, because it's like you want something that you've seen, you want something that you've seen advertised or someone wearing, or that you've seen your favorite celebrity wearing, for example. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's why it's actually kind of it takes you away from God when you just focus on your pleasures. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%, man, 100%. And I feel like as well, it's important to also like stress the fact that I don't think we're trying to say here that it's not like you should never Do you know what I mean? Or you're not going to like nice things, or you should never spend your money on nice things.
Yeah.
But then it's like obviously being aware of what these sort of big companies might be trying to do.
Yeah.
And
knowingly and unknowingly.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, but as much as you can understand what these companies are trying to do.
Yeah.
And then
there's nothing wrong with having a desire, but
just be aware. Don't let it like sort of control you. That's what I feel like I'm trying to say. Like, don't now be getting yourself into like sticky financial situations now. Just because you want this new car or you want these new trainers.
Yeah, let's talk about the negative effects.
Negative effects. Yeah. Because it's like I was.
Because obviously we're just on finances. Because like it affects your pocket.
Yeah, bro. Like, I remember I was watching this. I can't remember what show it was anyway, but obviously you've heard of Klarna, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure it was a show on BBC, and basically loads of these people were talking about the fact that they couldn't pay back, like they were getting addicted to shopping and stuff. So they were buying from all of these sort of big retailers, and then they were doing it through Klarna, and they weren't able to pay it back, and how it was sort of messing up their finances and stuff like that. So I feel like that could be the sort of negative impact of like consumerism and wanting to keep up with the Joneses.
Keep up with the Joneses.
So to speak.
Wanting someone else next door. You don't know.
Or just looking good. Just wanting to look good for other people, not necessarily for yourself to like maintain that image. But then, bro, like these people were stressed out because they weren't able to pay this money back, and it was affecting their credit and their finances and stuff like that. So, bro, if you're not careful, man, that can be a slippery slope.
Yeah, because if you just
slippery slope.
If you haven't got like a budget, for example, like, and then anything comes out, and then the next new iPhone comes out, whilst your old one is still working perfectly, do you have to have the next one? Do you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be on a treadmill now where you're working for things that you don't need.
Or now maybe now pulling money from maybe your rent money, or pulling money from, do you know what I mean, from your savings or investments, or where you shouldn't really, do you know what I mean, be pulling money from. So I think that is definitely like a negative impact. It can be a slippery slope, bro. You get addicted to that.
He talks about it in the word, in the last days, people will be lovers of pleasure.
That's in Timothy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in Timothy. Like, he talks about it like, this is just not a coincidence how everything is shaped in the way it is right now. Do you know what I'm saying? The Bible is a book of prophecy, and it talks about these things. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a book of prophecies and principles. So it's important to know that we're talking about obviously the negative effects that impacts your finances. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you're not careful, you're spending too much money on things that you don't need, perhaps, or maybe it's all of these advertisements creating a need or desire that you never thought you wanted. Obviously, we spoke earlier about just the exploitation of labour practice in different countries, maybe in
I was actually going to come into that. I was actually going to get onto that. Yeah.
Have you heard the company Shein or Shein?
Shein, yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah. I think isn't it like an online? Or is it to do with like cream or like hair products or something?
Nah, it's like to do with like I think it's like an online store, isn't it?
Is it?
It's mainly females buy.
Yeah, because I'm sure my mum has like bought from there before.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you know how much products they always adding? Thousands of products, I think. Every month or every week or even every day, like,
is it?
And everything is so cheap.
Yeah.
But it's like what we don't see is like who's producing.
What's the cost of that production? Fast production. That might be someone on an assembly line working in a factory.
Yeah, maybe getting low pay, maybe getting no pay, or maybe getting no contracts. Like no one really knows the operations behind like what's going on in the background. Do you know what I'm saying?
But then again, and I hear what you mean as well, because that is a negative, because obviously you wouldn't want to be one of those people that are now mass producing these, products and like getting paid like zero money or no money. But then it's like, does that mean that we now don't consume these things? Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, I don't know, like, say we like, well, obviously I love like Nike stuff, but I'm sure like maybe if I was to delve into or do like a lot of research, and find out like how this was labeled, do you know what I mean? Like, would that now still sit right with me? Would I now keep on buying or purchasing these products? So I feel like, how much do we actually, as a society, think about this labour? And do you think that's actually going to deter people from now actually going and buying these things?
No, but that's a very, very good point you just made. But I don't think like we're here trying to say stop buying everything. Don't use your money on anything. But it's just like to try.
Maybe it's like the overconsumption.
Yeah, the overconsumption. That's what we're talking about. The overconsumption of things, really, of things. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't need. You don't wanna just have. How many people have things that they don't use? But what we're trying to say is like be conscious and really look at your needs and your wants.
Your wants as well. Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, no, and like. I think like a simple example, right, is, so I know for me, this is the same with me, and I know a lot of people can relate, but I heard this somewhere as well, like you only wear like roughly
20%,
around,
I think.
yeah, 20 or 30% of your wardrobe about 100% of the time. It essentially means that like the majority of your wardrobe, basically, you don't even end up wearing it. You know, like you only have a certain clothes that you gravitate towards, and you wear them.
So I feel like 100% of the clothes that you have, you're going to the 20%.
Yeah, or the certain like amount of clothing. But I feel like that now goes to the that now feeds on the point that I feel like as humans we want to have choice, innit? Do you know what I mean? Want to open our wardrobe and be like, actually, I can wear this top now with these jeans. Do you know what I mean? Or I can now wear these sort of shoes with this cap or whatever it might be. So I feel like as humans we like to have choice. I feel like, if we're being completely honest. But then again, it's like to have choice, I like the fact you said needs and wants, because you don't need all of those things in your wardrobe. But I feel like, I feel like we just want it.
Yeah.
But then it's like now
there is a balance though, because you can't just be like, you know what, I'm only buying my needs. This is the things I need.
Essentials. Like, you could though, because that's what like people that practice like minimalism.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
I think we spoke about it a little briefly. And
yeah. Like they literally, bro, they might just have like the one, like 2 t-shirts and
two t-shirts,
one
like,
pair of jeans.
Like you don't want to be an even, like it depends who, like because. Would you want to be on one extreme where you're over consuming everything, buying everything that comes out, or you don't want to be an extreme like you have
but
2 t-shirts?
I also don't want to be like that either. Though. Come on,
so it's like finding a balance and not letting things take over you, not letting pleasure rule your whole life, because it could corrupt your soul, essentially, your mind, because you're just now spending loads of time thinking, like shopping, like that is time consuming.
Mentally training.
Yeah, mentally training, like, but
and like maybe don't even feed into like as well, like don't maybe feed into like fast fashion. Like if you like clothes, maybe now go for clothes that are gonna last. Do you know what I mean? Like for example, like I remember like I haven't bought a pair of Levi's for a while now, but I remember like but Levi's used to be my favorite brand because they had the jeans, they had like loads of different cuts and different styles, but they would last for long as well. So like you buy one pair of jeans and it might cost a lot of money, but cool, you have this for a few years, as opposed to you might go to like somewhere where the quality is not as good and then last you for like 3 months, then you get a little rip on them, so then you have to go buy another pair.
But
do you get what I mean?
Do things now last as they did before? Do you know what I'm saying? When it comes to not even just clothing, like gadgets, I remember like phones from back in the day, like they would last for a long time.
But I don't know. I feel like clothing and technology is a bit different, though, innit? Because I think like clothing and that, do you know what I mean? You can find something that's vintage, but I feel like technology has a expiry date. Bruv.
But should it though?
Like I remember, like even with iPhones, there's a scandal with iPhones and that. Do you remember when they were like, what was it? That bruv, they just stopped working and that towards their end of their contract date.
Yeah, but do you think that's some kind of
conspiracy?
Yeah.
No, but it's happened to me before though with like one of my iPhones.
Your phones just.
I feel like they're on a timer though, man, 100%. Because even though with some iPhones as well, it's like if you don't upgrade it to now a certain storage or like a certain software, it won't stop working. It will stop working the way it should work. Do you know what I mean? And then that can now make you. That's what I mean. That is a way. It's a way of getting you to buy another phone, man. 100%. I reckon it's a marketing strategy.
Yeah. Bearing in mind everything that we spoke about, like what is the solution? How can you not, feed into this consumerism
culture.
Day to day in our society.
It's a good question.
What would you say?
Go live under a rock or something, I guess. No, I'm joking. I'd say be intentional, innit? Do you know what I mean? Be intentional in terms of what it is that you're purchasing. What is the reason for you purchasing what it is that you want to purchase? Like, for example, let's say you want to get a new car. Maybe ask yourself why you want to get this new car. Because I remember I was telling you literally the other day, like I wanted to get a new car and that. Because like loads of people around me were getting new cars, we were getting Mercedes and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I could do if I really wanted to. Do you know, crunch some numbers, I could. But then you spoke to me, it was like, actually, wait a second, do you really need one?
Like, do you need one?
Is it more of a needs than a wants? And then I turned around and I was like, oh, actually, yeah, you're right. Like, it's just kind of, I want it, and it's because other people around me are getting another car. So that made me like reevaluate real quick, and then come to that conclusion that I don't need one. So I feel like it's about having that intention, but then also like speaking to people about being transparent. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go grab this. What do you think? X, Y, and Z. Instead of just doing like an impulse buy, because I feel like that's how a lot of these big corporations get you in that. They get you from the impulse, like they make you buy something quickly without thinking about it. So if they can get you to buy something without thinking about it, they got you. But if you can be conscious about it, think about things, you're more or less likely to feed into that sort of consumerism.
Just the multitude of a brethren, isn't it?
The council. Within the council of the multitude, there's wisdom. That's
Proverbs.
That's what the word says, my brother. So that's what I would say.
All right,
being intentional. What about you?
Being intentional is a good one. I would say delayed gratification. So you don't need it right there and then. You know, it links in with the impulse buying. Like these companies want you to buy something right there and then. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but however, you can sleep on it.
It's okay to do that.
It's okay to do that. Like you don't always have to make that purchase there and then. Sometimes you can just speak to people around you, whether you really need it, or even reevaluate. Is this gonna add to my life, or is it just gonna be a thing that I'm not gonna use? Maybe
like vanity, or
because that value of that thing, once you have it, it's gonna vanish, gradually. Do you know what I'm saying? Is that what's gonna happen again? And then before you know it, you just got accumulation of things that you don't need.
Facts.
So having, being disciplined in your purchasing, delayed gratification is one way you cannot feed into this consumerism in our society today. Do you get what I'm saying? So, because like let's be honest, like if you can literally start idolizing some of these things without knowing.
It's true, 100%. Putting so much value on, or like it's taking more of your attention away from God, and now you're putting all of your attention on whatever this thing is that you're consuming.
So your attention comes, to that thing, and you're idolizing it and worshipping it in a way, without actually, instead of putting your focus on God 100%. And things that really matter, things that have eternal value. So, so I think we just leave it there.
So just being intentional and having a purpose. And having that delayed gratification.
And if you want to be a minimalist, then you
can go and do that as well. To be fair, you might see me on an island next year, bro. You get me? Just with my little suitcase and that. We'll see, man.
But thank you all viewers and listeners for tuning in to another episode. We discussed a lot of topics in here, touched on a few things. So any closing remarks?
Nah, not at all, bro. Just man. Thank you for listening. Be intentional. Have a purpose in your spending. Obviously, small enjoyment, but do you know what I mean? Don't get caught up in the hamster wheel, innit? As much as possible. But thank you for listening, and join us next time on Powered by Scripture.